that's going to be the high point of my life.
These teachers and students gathered in Linden to talk about another country. They've either been or are going to the Dominican Republic with friends beyond borders. Some are sharing their experiences, others are learning more before they make the trip.
It opened my eyes. We went to see one day the free trade zone, and that made a big difference. And I could see how the American corporations benefit, and yet we close our borders to the people that might be displaced, possibly because a corporation took over their land.
Seventh grade French teacher Kevin Lamastre created Friends Beyond Borders 10 years ago as a school club. He wanted to offer students a global education, to teach cultural differences and social justice, and provide a professional development opportunity for teachers. Since then, 52 students and 100 teachers and administrators from across the United States have visited the Dominican Republic.
This picture right here is when we went to the Batalles. 3 out of 5 children here have shoes, and that really shocked me because if you look at other pictures of this here, the floor, it's just dirt. There's feces, dog feces, horse feces, and some babies are just walking around, in this area.
So many Dominicans and Haitian immigrants live in extreme poverty. Some salvage trash at the local garbage dump to make money. Others work in sweatshops making clothes sold in America. That was a lesson in fair trade for everyone.
I think the first time I brought students there, we went to a factory and the label being produced on the shirt said Justice. That was the name of a popular boutique that some of my students buy clothes at. So we were meeting people that were earning 83 cents an hour, creating shirts for justice.
I'm not like the same person anymore. I keep thinking back to this trip. I keep thinking back to these people, these factories I was in. Every time I go to the store, it's like somehow I'm thinking about, well, where is this from? And like, who made it? How, were they getting paid? How are they treated?
I think the dump is important principally because there was an expectation of what the dump experience was going to be. And I think, at least for myself and for many others, the result of the visit was different than what we expected. At one point, people had stopped talking and somebody started singing. Just a song to help you work, to get a rhythm of the picking. At that point, we became not observers watching people who were much poorer than ourselves, how they worked. At that point, we became a participant ourselves, and I think that at that level, the connections were far more powerful.
The kids who had HIV at an orphanage, we talked about their lives and their struggles, how they were just smiling, even though they knew they had the disease, but they were still living life and enjoying it.
Looking at a career, the first thing I did in high school, and I'll admit it today, looking up highest paid careers. After this experience, I realized money wasn't important because we went over there and we talked to people that were living on $1 a day, and they were happier than a lot of the people I knew in college, a lot of the people that I just knew in life in general. Right now, I'm working in Harlem and I'm teaching 3rd grade special ed.
I do think that my priorities shifted, so justice becomes one of my priorities. So, for example, if I'm reading To Kill a Mockingbird, I can invite my students not just to read the book, but we can marry the book to justice issues that are happening today, globally or focused just in America.
Guidance counselor Marianne Greco experienced what her English as a second language students experience here in America when she was told to speak Spanish only when in the Dominican Republic. Now she's more understanding of her students and their families.
I think that we need to go beyond the child. We also need to be sure as educators that the policies within our school work well with culturally diverse student body.
I think the people who go on this trip, after visiting the different groups, come away with a more nuanced understanding of extreme poverty. What I would like to see is that we don't blame people for the conditions that they live under. My point is for people to understand our interconnectedness. It's not a separate poverty. We're talking about international trade laws. We're talking about things that happen here have an effect there. And some of our wealth may very well be based on the poverty of others. And as a teacher of foreign languages, that's what I would like, is for my students to have an image of themselves as global citizens.